It's Julie. I'm back for some yoga. If you don't have blocks for this flow, that's okay, but it definitely will amp up the practice if you're looking for a little bit more. So I have 2 blocks at the top of my mat, but once again, if you don't have them, don't worry about it. If you're looking for some music for this flow, you can go into my Spotify account. It's Julie Silverman Gerbich, and quite the name there. And you can click on Monday Madness, because that's what it is. We're living Monday Madness. Okay, so meet me on the mat. Do what you can today. It's just a little flow. I think the goal of the practice is to ground ourselves, move ourselves, and motivate ourselves. Start on your backs. Your feet can be hip width distance apart. Your head is nice and soft to the mat. Your hands just relax down and just take a couple breaths. I personally like to take my feet as wide as the mat and then let my knees knock in. My drishti is just up, or maybe even want to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale everything out. Let yourself just enjoy the yoga practice today, whatever it is that you're going to do on your mat. Take the block. It's going to go the long direction, be placed in between the feet. If you don't have a block, this can be done without the block, no sweat. Legs go straight up towards the sky. My feet are going to flex so the block does not fall on my face. Pause right here. Draw the navel into the back of the spine, contract the thighs. This may be where you choose to stay. It's kind of an isometric movement, or you can begin to lift the arms up. So the arms reach towards the feet, towards the block, and you just hold. Once again, if lower back is sensitive, good place to stay. You can just sustain this for a few breaths. If lower back can handle a little bit more, we're going to slowly start to add on. So from here, the block's going to stay in between my feet. I'm going to slowly start to lower my legs, find a position that works for you. I'm going to go so they hover. Arms are going to reach back. So now my arms and legs are hovering and I'm hugging the block in. Hold. Bring the legs back up. This time I'm going to grab the block. The block's going to go between my hands. I'm going to slowly start to lower my legs and my hands, same action, same movement. The block's in between my hands. Pull yourself back up. Place the block back in between the feet. Don't be in such a rush. Pause. Start to lower the arms, start to lower the legs, squeeze the block. Don't drop the block. Again, pull yourself up, take the block in between the hands, stay really long, everything is lifted, and then start to slowly lower. Hovering everything, pull yourself back up, legs come up, good, start to lower. Hold the block. Feel the lower back press down into the mat. Pull yourself back up, take hold of that block, get hold of it, lower the legs, lower the arms, hold the block. One more, take the block back up, place it in between the feet, stay long, start to lower nice and slow, activating that lower belly, reach back. Bring the block back up, grab the block, give the knees a squeeze. Rock yourself up, cross your ankles, move the block to the front of the mat, step to a downward facing dog. Let the head go, bend behind the knees as much as you need in here. Lift the hips up off the shoulders and just feel your grounding of your hands pressing down, your toes spreading wide, and your hips lifting up really high. Ujjayi breath is the breath that you want to use. If you're unfamiliar, the breath is through the back of your throat. It's an inhale breath through your nose. And it's actually also an exhale breath, which is also through your nose. Feel your outer arms firm up and in. Press a little bit more. Now your knees can have as much of a bend, so if they're not pinned straight today, don't force them to be straight. Lift the hips up a little higher, let the head just go. Roll forward to plank, stack your body, and align yourself. Your gaze, also known as your drishti, can come a little forward to the edge of your towel mat. Please know the modification. So this flows for anybody. You can drop your knees down and support every movement that you do in here, or you can amp it up, keep the legs engaged, draw the navel in and the waist up. Bring more weight forward onto your tippy toes. Use your breath to really amp up the practice. Inhale through the nose, through the back of your throat. Exhale, see if you can hold and sustain. Feel the ground. Press a little bit more. Yes, you're still in plank. Take a deep breath in, broaden across your upper shoulders. Press a little bit more into the ground. Good. Keep looking forward. Drop your knees if you need support. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. So if the knees can be bent, totally fine. If not, elbows are bending in half, legs are engaged. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. So if that worked out okay for you, you continue or you drop your knees, roll forward to a plank. Your weight pulls you forward, crown of the head goes forward. Elbows bend in half, chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Just slowly starting to build some heat. Roll forward to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog, point your toes. If this isn't great for the lower back, just omit. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Roll forward to plank, hug your right knee to your navel and pause. Think about drawing the knee in between your biceps. Keep looking forward. That's going to help you out a lot. Press into the floor more. With your gaze staying forward, begin to glide your right foot forward and through. Come to tented fingertips, pause. Feel the length of the back left leg and steer your right hip back. Your right leg is bent in half as much as you can. You don't reach the floor, you can just slide blocks underneath your hands. Now with the momentum of your back leg, step it forward to meet your right at the top of the mat. Come to the fingertips, long spine. If hands don't make it to the floor, bring them to the shins, keep the weight forward. Exhale the breath, fold into yourself. Feel your feet root to rise. Reach up through your fingertips, feel the ground. Dive in half over bent knees. Long spine, come to your fingertips. Plant your palms, right foot takes a big step back. Left foot joins the party, plank. You're back where you started. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Keep your gaze forward. Pull your heart through for an up dog, point your toes. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Roll forward to plank, hugging your left knee in. Draw the knee in between your biceps. Keep your gaze just a tad forward. The breath is flowing. You begin to feel the body getting a little warmer. Keep the gaze a little forward. Gently step your left foot forward. If the foot doesn't get there on its own, use your hands to get it up there. Come to your fingertips. Feel the length of your back right leg. Steer your left hip back. Just breathe. With your gaze a little forward, spring your right foot forward to meet your left. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Hands can be on the ground or shoot to the shins. Exhale, fold over the legs. Root to rise, come up. Feel the ground. You can look up, try not to drop your neck back. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. To prepare, plant your palms, slide your left foot back. Right foot meets in a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, point. Downward facing dog, back. Look in between your hands, step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward to meet. Long spine on the inhale breath, exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine sets you up. Plant your palms, right foot slides back, palms press down, left foot slides back. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing, point your toes. Downward facing, back. Keep the breath flowing. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot forward. You're at the top of the mat. Long spine right here. Weight is forward into the balls of the feet. Exhale, fold. Reach up, stretch up, ground. Dive in half over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to set you up. Hands to touch the floor. Left foot back, then the right. Plank position is where we are. Drop your knees at any given point. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Upward facing point. Neck stays long, press through the palms. Downward facing, hips press back. Deep breath in through the nose, deep breath out. Good, so you're gonna roll forward to a plank position. Hug your right knee to your navel, pause. Take your right knee towards your right tricep. Hug the knee in a little closer towards the center line. Take it back to center. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot onto its side, slide a block to the outside of your foot, and come up into an extended side angle A. So if the hand to the outside of the foot or onto a block doesn't work out for you today, just simply bump your arm onto the top of your thigh. Good place to be. The block can be any direction that works for you. You're just practicing a nice gripping of your outer hip, pulling it underneath you, twisting your belly and ribs. Left arm can reach towards the side wall wherever you're reaching. And biceps going to turn down, baby finger will turn down. If the arm doesn't reach up and over by your side body, just stretch your left arm straight up. Feel the anchor of your left leg. It's turned on the side a little bit, so the foot is turning just a little bit in. That way the thigh bone can turn and the hip can go with it. Stay in the posture. Twist your belly, twist your ribs, feel your feet on the floor, breathe. Another breath in. Look to the ground, take both hands to the floor. Just move your block to the front, step back to a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Keep your gaze forward, straighten your arms to a plank. Hug your left knee to your navel, pause. Firm up the sides of your arms. Let your left knee just drift a little bit to the left. Keep the back leg really engaged. Good. And then let it drift back towards center. Keep looking forward, slide your left foot in between your hands, turn your back foot onto its side, reach for your block if you used it, place it to the outside of your foot. So just growing the pose from the ground up, practice gripping your left hip underneath you, reaching your right arm straight up or straight forward. So if the arm is kind of coming down by your ear, the bicep's going to turn down, the baby finger will turn. Your feet press into the floor. And you should be able to move those upper and bottom ribs just a little bit. Look up. If you're getting stuck with the shoulder, just let the arm extend straight up. It's fine. And then use your breath so you can feel a little bit more of what's happening. Another big breath. Stay with me. Let your left hip swing behind you a little bit more. Twist open. Look up. If you went with a straight arm with the arm reaching forward, reach your right arm straight up. Look up for a second, and then bring your dristi down. Bring both hands to frame your front foot. Step back to a plank. Lower halfway chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog. Point your toes. Take a downward facing dog. Now walk your feet halfway up your mat. Your hands are just going to meet them. So you're just in the center of your mat. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Bring your hands to your hips. Pull yourself up the rest of the way. So you're going to come up to a standing position. You're going to use your block here. And I'm going to place it going the long direction, this direction. Take it to the back edge of your mat. Yeah, at the front of the mat. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. The whole right foot's going to go onto the block. Warrior two. Block's going to go the long direction. Okay. Whole right foot on the block. Arms energetically reach in opposite directions. Sit deep into your right thigh. Hold. Feel the length of your back left leg. Feel the length of your arms as they pull apart in opposite directions. Drop down a little deeper. Anchor your right foot into that block. Close your eyes, 5 breaths right here. Lengthen your waist. You're not leaning a little too much to the right and not a little too much to the left. Sit a little deeper. Good. Straighten your right leg. Scoot your left foot in. Turn it on an angle a little bit. Slide your right hand just to your shin. Soften behind your right knee. Reach your left arm up. Look up. Feel the weight in your right foot. Keep pressing your left foot down. Let the side of your body really lift you up. 2 more. Good. You're going to look down. Keep your right foot on that block. Pivot both your hands. Scoot your back left foot in so it's about hips width distance. So your right foot's on a block out in front of you. Your left foot is about 3 feet behind you. Come to the fingertips, long spine, and then fold over your right leg. So the foot is still resting on the block. Steer your right hip up. Anchor your left foot. Take your hands to the floor, step your right foot off the block, step back, downward facing dog. Just move the block to the side. Good. And to arrive back to a downward facing dog, roll forward to plank, lower halfway chaturanga. Pull yourself through an up dog, point your toes. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Walk your feet halfway up your mat, walk your hands up halfway. Come to that fingertips, long spine, or hands to your shins, hands to your hips, come the rest of the way up. Take the block going the long direction. Good. Place it to the edge of the mat. I'm just doing that so I can really align myself. Left foot forward, right foot turns in. So just setting up warrior two with your front foot on the block. Angle your right foot just a little bit, broaden across the arms and chest, and then drop down into the pose. Reach across your body. Sit into the front thigh. Really spread the collarbone nice and wide. External rotation of your left thigh as you turn up the inner part of your left thigh, turn to the outside of your left baby toe. And then what can you drop in this? Sit into the pose, breathe. Sit a little bit deeper. Good. Feel the angle of your right leg drop down into the tailbone. So let the tailbone just drop to the ground. Spread your arms wider and make sure you're not reaching a little right, a little left, you're just smack in the middle. More breath, more feeling. Who wants to run away from this feeling right here? Begin to straighten your left leg. Scoot your right foot in. The right foot's turned a little. Begin to tip, triangle pose. Hands just going to rest on your shin. Soften behind your left knee so your left foot is elevated. Your right arm is reaching up really big. Your waist is long. Your gaze can go up if that's available for you. Feel your feet on the floor. Stay with this. Side of your body really long. Begin to anchor those feet. Press a little bit more into the ground. Stretch up bigger with your right arm. Keep looking up. Good. One more big breath. Look down, frame out your front foot. Keep your left foot where it is. I had you put it there for a reason. Take your right foot a little to the right. Turn it forward so it's like a warrior one foot. Parsvottanasana with your left foot on the block. Lift your left hip up. Steer it back a little. Great. Anchor your back leg and breathe. Let your head just go. Feel the backside of your body getting a great release. Look forward. Step your left foot just off the block. Just move the block to the front. Right foot meets left foot, top of towel. Long spine on the inhale breath. Keep the weight forward. Fold over your legs. Sit deep into a chair, weights in your heels. Lift your chest up. Let your shins slide back. Draw the belly in. Look forward. Press up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Drop your arms by your side body. Look forward. Stretch your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Now sit into a chair, weights in your heels. Forward fold over the legs. Long spine on the inhale breath. Plant your palms. 2 big steps or a light chaturanga if you're ready to move. Upward facing pulls you through. Point your toes. Downward facing, hips press back. Right foot steps, back foot on its side. Warrior one. Root to rise right here. Right foot is really grounding. Back foot is turned forward enough that your left thigh can go with you and your waist can turn. Reach up with your arms. Look forward. Feel the weight in your right heel and really press the outer blade of your left foot down. Hands come down to frame your front foot plank. At this point, if you want to skip chaturanga, that's fine. I'm going to take it upward facing, the new breath, downward facing. Left foot steps, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Back right foot is turned enough forward that the thigh can go, the waist can go, the side of your body can lift you up. Feel the weight in your left heel. Keep looking forward or look a little bit up. Hands come down, plank position. Halfway to a chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Be still, 3 breaths. Something happened again. Downward facing dog. Look where you want to go. Step or hop your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weights in your heels. Let the shins drag back. Press up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Just move a few like this. Arms reach up, straight up. Lower your seat into a chair. Look forward. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, plant your palms. Step or float chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Anchor and then come up. Hands come back down, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Not too fast, not too slow, just right for you. Left foot forward, back foot on its side, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Lower halfway or modify. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Press into your hands. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet through. Long spine on the inhale breath. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again, chair. Weight in your heels. Shoot up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Stretch your arms straight up. Weights in your heels. Lower your seat, chair. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Half lift on the inhale breath. Step or float, chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot onto its side, warrior one. Hands to the floor, plank. Halfway down, upward facing. Downward facing. We're moving and grooving. Left foot forward, back foot on its side, warrior one. Building heat, getting excited, getting momentum. Hands down, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot steps, you're in a low lunge. Reach for your block. You're going to float right into a half moon. If you don't have a block, that is fine. Just going to make it a little bit easier to bring the floor up. Left leg lifts, spark up your left toes. Broaden across your arms and chest. And then where do you want to play? For me, it's all about keeping my right foot forward. Lifting my left leg so it's at hip height. Some of you love a Chikachopasana. That's a little back bend. You're welcome to take it. Where can you grow lighter? Maybe it's just in your thoughts, less thinking, and really feel your right foot pressing into the mat. If you took on a Chopasana, release back to a half moon. Meet us here. The transition's really important, so please move slow. Look to the floor first. Just move your dristi. Bring your left hand down. So now both hands are on the floor. Square your hips. Good. So your left leg is lifted, your right foot is flat on the floor, and you're just in a lifted left leg, like a standing split. Good. Just take a breath in, fold your torso down, take a breath out. Step your left foot to meet your right at the top. Long spine, you should already be there. Fold over your legs. Sit into chair, weights in your heels. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale. Hook the left elbow. Move on the exhale breath. Twisting towards my fire. Weights in your heels. Shins go back. Waist is long. Look up towards the ceiling. Open up your arms if you want a little more action in your upper body, or just stay here. Keep bending the legs in half. Sit a little deeper. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Don't move that at all. Pull around to chair. Look forward. Keep looking forward. Sit a little deeper. Weights in your heels. Draw your belly and your waist up. Where can you let go? Soften the shoulders a little. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Set up right here for crow pose. So I haven't taught this much via video. If this isn't for you, I just want you to take your feet wide and come into squat malasana. The feet have to go really wide though, and you're going to use your elbows to press your inner thighs. If you are feeling the option of crow bakasana, you must start with your feet together. Arches of your feet come together. Plant the palms. Bend your elbows like you're going into chaturanga, and then your feet will lift up off the ground. Draw in, look forward. Draw the navel to the back of the spine. Round your spine a little bit. Press into your hands. Keep looking forward. To get out of the pose, I'm just going to step out into from Bakasana to Malasana squat. Take a breath in. Sit up a little taller. Take a breath out. And then I'll plant my palms and just step to a down dog. From downward facing dog, roll forward to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Up dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Left foot steps. You're in a low lunge. Just move your weight forward, float to a half moon. Working out the balance, floating the right leg up, drawing the right arm up towards the ceiling and sparking up your right toes. Just see how you can elevate yourself in this posture. If it's just to be real basic, be real basic. If you want to add on, be my guest. Maybe get a little lighter in your bottom hand. Spark up your right toes a little more. Lift up out of your waist. Maybe look up. Stay with me. If you added anything in, now a release out to a regular version of half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Bring your dristi down first. Bring your right hand down next. Step your feet together at the top of the mat. Come to the fingertips, long spine, fold over your legs. Sit now into chair, weights in your heels. We love our chairs. Drag the hands to prayer. Inhale your breath first. Exhale, begin to twist. Hook the elbow to the outside of the thigh. Lower your seat nicely. Shift the weight back into your heels. Let the crown of the head just be over the front of the feet. It's a little sneaky pose. The knees like to slide past one another. It's all coming from the hips. Keep lowering your hips so they're even. Open your arms if you want more, or just stay and be patient. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Don't let that move at all. Pull yourself back around to chair. Recommit right here. Look forward. Really dig your heels into the floor. Sit a little deeper. Lift your chest up. Breathe into what you've got going on right here. Press up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Leave it behind. Stretch your arms straight up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. Just step back or float. High plank, chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Land your right foot forward. Stay high on the ball of your back foot. Rise to a high lunge. Reach your arms straight up. Keep your right arm reaching really big. Just let your left arm just fall towards your side body. Let your left palm slide down the back of your left thigh. Just pause here. So your right arm is long. You're sitting deep into your right thigh, and your left hand is just coming down the back of your left thigh, wherever it's touching. Draw your belly in. Sit a little deeper into your heel. Now, keeping your right arm where it is, just slide your left arm forward. So your arms are kind of split apart. Now with this motion, wrap your left arm underneath your right. Lift your elbows up. Press into your standing right foot. We'll see how dramatic we can make this or not dramatic. Float up into eagle. Wrap your left leg around your right. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your legs. Drop your seat like you're in a chair pose. Lift your elbows up. Look forward. Steer the body so you can get a straight line of energy from fingertips to knees to toes. Keep pressing into the standing leg. Feel the weight in that heel. Just unravel your arms towards the sky. From here, hug your left knee and flex your foot. So if you got lost somewhere along the road, flex your left foot, stand up tall with your left leg bent in half. Arms reach up. Keep your eyes forward, draw your belly in. Let your waist stay really lifted. Keeping your right foot anchored and forward, begin to slowly move your left leg back to the back of the mat, back to high lunge. Use control. When you arrive to high lunge, decide, do I need to drop my knee down? Totally cool. If not, amp it up, activate the back leg. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Stay with me. Hook the elbow and twist. Look a little to the right. You can look up. Scissor the thighs together. Squeeze into the center line and twist only where there's a rib. Feel the weight in your right heel. Feel the strength of your back leg. And this is where the good stuff happens, right here. Take another big breath in. Take your hands down to the floor. Step back, plank position. Lower halfway, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a great up dog. Pause here. Press back, chaturanga. Straighten your arms to a plank. Lean onto your right hand. Take a side plank, vashisthasana. This can be modified if you'd like. Drop your bottom knee. Slide your left arm up. Spark up your toes. Draw your waist up. Contract your thighs. Your best version of standing up tall right here. Look down, left hand to the floor, plank position. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing point, downward facing back. Left foot's gonna land high on the ball of the back foot. Rise, high lunge. You're almost there. Sit into your front thigh. Activate your right glute, your make up words, glute. High on the ball of your back foot. Keep your left arm up. Just let your right arm begin to slide down the back of the thigh. So nothing's really changing in the pose. You just feel that right hand just reaching back. Sit deeper into your front thigh. Anchor your left heel. Keep your waist really long and forward. Reach up a little more with your left hand, and then let your right arm just begin to slide forward, just like you're handing someone something. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Do that first. Anchor and sit into your front leg. Now use the momentum of your back leg to float into eagle. Do the best you can. If you need to take a couple steps to get up, that's fine. If you can't wrap your foot, just let it dangle. Use it like a kickstand. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs, lift the elbows up. Bend into the standing left thigh. The weight is in the heel. And then move your gaze forward. Little arch in your upper back. It's like the natural curve of your spine. Sit deeper. Squeeze in. Feel that weight in that standing heel. Keep the legs the shape that they are. Just unravel your arms. Press into the standing left leg. Hug your right knee in. If you got lost, come back to a standing leg raise without the leg forward. Just a 90-degree angle with your right leg. Arms reach up. Really reach through your fingertips. Start to guide your right leg back into a lunge. If you get sloppy, reset yourself, high lunge, or drop your back knee. Hand slide to a prayer. The stance is pretty long. Inhale, hook the elbow, and twist on your exhale. Bring the weight forward onto the ball of your right foot. Press your left heel into the floor. Squeeze the legs together. Lift the torso, lean back just a little bit and get in there. Fire up your right glute and your hamstring. If this is too much, just simply drop your knee down right like this, and that is fine. 2 more breaths. Look down, place both hands to the floor. First step back to plank, pause. Just pause in the plank. Right from here, we're gonna lean onto our left hand, vashisthasana side plank. Stack the feet, drive the right arm up. Whatever modification you took on the other side, take it here. Lift up out of your waist, spark up your toes, drive your right arm up. Take a little bit more air in. Stay with the exhale. Look down, right hand to the floor, plank position. Halfway to a chaturanga. Upward facing point, downward facing back. So you're just gonna go ahead and step your right foot forward. Stay low for me. Straighten your right leg and just pivot. This is Dandayamana Bikattapara Paschimottanasana. I'll never forget that. Come to the fingertips, long spine. It's a wide leg straddle. Fold over your legs. If any of you had an inversion in your practice, this is the place to do it. I'd say to go up into a tripod headstand. If you're not comfortable doing this, just let your head just be free towards the ground. Bend your arms in half, like they're in a chaturanga kind of. Good. And then you can play with where you want your hands to be, directly underneath your shoulders. Maybe you want to walk them back so your arms are straight. Soften behind your knees a little bit.
Good. And if you went upside down, take your time. There's no rush. If you're just in a separate leg stretching, start to walk your hands to the center of the mat. Pause. Walk your hands over to the right. Pivot your right heel. You're in a low lunge. Plant your palms. Hug your right knee to your navel. Extend your right leg up and back to a three-legged downward facing dog. Please don't open up the hips. Just keep the right leg really flexed strong. The thigh bone is pointed towards the ground. The back side of your body is lifted nicely and your arms are firm. From here, point your right toes. Hug your right knee to your navel. Pause here. Then land the knee forward for a half pigeon. Fold yourself down onto the mat. Let go. Make sure your left thigh bone is down. The top of the left foot is pointed to the floor. Stay for as long as you need right here. I'm just going to keep things moving. Plant the palms, arms go straight, curl the left toes in, hug your right knee in. Slide the right leg back, plank. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga, just keeping this really concise and clean. Upward facing point, downward facing dog, back. Just extend your left leg up. Just lift it up, only hip height, flex your foot. Just pause here. Should feel a pretty strong stretch along the right side of the body, and your arms really firm. Your arms are broad and they're pressing down. Point your left toes. Keep the action of that left leg. Keep it lifted. Hug the knee in. Draw it in really tight. Keep looking forward. Land your left leg forward. Half pigeon. This is unavailable. You come onto your back for ankle to knee pose. The right top of your thigh and foot are down towards the mat. Arms slide forward. If there's a big space between your left side of your body, you can always take something and place it here underneath that glute to bring the floor to you. If not, just melt down into the pose right here. Come back to your breath and the feeling that you have right in this moment. If you find you're rolling a little to one side, even yourself out. Start to move yourself out. Plant the palms. This time, you're just going to lean onto your left butt cheek, take your right leg forward. Bend the legs in half. Make the shape of a 90-degree angle with your leg. Plant the palms. Plant the palms to the mat. You're going to do a reverse tabletop position. Hands are facing towards you. Feet are facing forward and their hips width distance. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the breath. Firm up the sides of the arms. Look up. If you look down the center of the body and you see a sad, saggy stomach, you want to lift up so everything's in the same line of energy. Hold here. Keep the neck really neutral. Good. Another breath in. Press into the floor. Anchor your feet. Exhale the breath, lower your seat. You're going to come all the way down onto your backs now. Lay down and set up for bridge. So from that, we move into bridge pose. If you like that and you want to repeat second side, that's totally, second time, that's totally fine. Take the block the highest direction. If you prefer, just take support. Block's going to go to the flat part of the back. If you're ready just to move into a full wheel, go for it. Flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. Exhale the breath, start to move yourself up into the pose. If you're just in bridge, a supported bridge, turn up the inner part of your thighs so they're facing down. Lift from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Feel your whole foot press down into the mat. If you went up into a bigger back bend, tuck your chin, exhale the breath, start to come out. If you're in bridge or supported bridge, tuck your chin, lower your tailbone, move out of the pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more, just because we can. Lift the tailbone up, slide a block, flip your palms, clasp your hands. Find something that works. Anchor your feet, find the space that you need, broadening across the upper shoulders. Press down a little bit more. Another big breath in. Exhale your breath. Start to lower your tailbone down. Coming slowly out of the pose, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a giant squeeze in. Giant squeeze in. Go ahead and extend your left leg down long towards the floor. Hug your right knee to your navel. If this is available to you, hook your big toe, peace sign grip. Extend your right leg up. If this is unavailable, grab behind the fleshy part of your right thigh, soften the shoulders down your back. Keep your left arm long alongside the body. Both shoulders press into the floor, left leg long. Just a few breaths, just releasing the hamstring. Let your right shoulder relax down into the mat and breathe. You should feel the stretch through the meaty part of your hamstring, not the insertion point. So if you feel it here, it's too much, back out. Rehug the right leg in. Take it over to the left, just for a basic supine twist. Take your right shoulder down to the ground and look a little right if you care to. Roll up to center, relax the right leg out. Hug the left knee in, give it a good squeeze. You might just want to stay here, it's totally okay. If you want to move on for the hamstring stretch, remember, if it's too much, grab behind the fleshy part of your thigh. If you're able to grab your big toe, this should happen pretty naturally. Right arm is long, shoulders are pressing down into the mat. You just want to breathe. Fleshy part, the meaty part is where you want to feel the stretch, not up by your insertion point. Hold right here. Keep your right calf down. Flex your foot a little bit more. Draw your belly in. Feel your lower back stay down. Hug your left knee back in one last time. Give it a good little squeeze. And then tip it over to the right for a supine twist. Left shoulder blade presses down. You can look a little left. Come up to center. Hug both your knees in. Give them a tight squeeze. Like really roll yourself up into a ball. Flex your feet. Extend the legs all the way out and legs out, arms back. Look up, hold for 5. Reaching in opposite directions for 4. If this is too much for you, legs can be up on an angle, at a 90-degree angle, fine. For 3, reaching in opposite directions, lower back down, gaze up for 2, and then 1. Set up for Shavasana, complete rest. Separate your feet, turn your palms open, close your eyes, let go of that Ujjayi breath. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to press myself up. But if you'd like to take a longer Shavasana, please do. I will sit myself up nice and tall. Hands will draw to prayer, just touching on the tops of the thighs. Sit up really tall here. Just feel the effects of this afternoon's practice, or whenever you're doing this practice, on your body, on your mind, on your spirit. Thank yourselves for showing up. Draw your hands to a prayer whenever you're ready. Bow your head. Have some gratitude for this practice. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste to you all. Catch me next time. Thanks so much.